We have all been in that situation. Despite everything you do, it seems that everything you do leads to no results. Maybe you are training to lift a certain weight in gym, or maybe achieve a skill in calisthenics, or maybe to look a certain way. You haven't made any results lately, but is that really true? Is your training bad, or your recovery, or your sleep? Or is it your perception? You will always hear about how bad training can lead to less results. And the same goes for recovery and sleep. But there is something I don't think anybody talks about, and it is our perception of ourselves. 3 years ago, I injured myself. I went from being in the best shape of my life to a complete change in 8 months. And if you have ever been injured, you know how frustrating it feels, and how slow the recovery is, or how hard it is to come back to who you were in the past. I remember that the change didn't happen rapidly. I still thought that I looked like my best, only to one day looking at myself in the mirror and comparing myself to the past, when I realized how badly the injury made me change, or when I tried to attempt the things I could do in the past and couldn't do them, how weak I felt. In many ways, I still feel like that guy who was injured, trying to get what he had in the past, trying his best and seeing no results. But that is not true. I have changed despite these feelings of stagnation, and you have changed too. If you have ever worked out, you know how slow the progress is. It is not like a movie where things happen so rapidly, where in the span of 2 hours, the person you saw in the beginning changed the world. It is so slow you don't even notice the progress, at least when it comes to your physique. So you keep training without noticing that you have changed, because the progress is so slow and you see yourself every day that you never really notice it. Not only that, but you're constantly comparing yourself to other people, seeing their change without seeing yours. This will inevitably make you feel left behind, as if everything you do is leading to nothing. And maybe your training is wrong, or your sleep is shit, or your diet is bad. But maybe it is not all of that, but your perception of your own change. You can perceive change because you don't have a past point of reference. Without something to compare, you can discern things or see their difference. When progress is slow and you see yourself every day in the mirror, you won't notice change. Why? Because you are only seeing one thing, your own reflection. You need two things to compare to see a difference. And if you compare yourself to somebody else, it doesn't make sense because that is not you. If you watch a transformation video without photos of their past or beginning, it wouldn't be a transformation video because there is no proof of the past or a point of reference. You first see their starting point, and it has an end where they are jacked or fitter. The same happens to you when you watch yourself every day in the mirror. You are constantly watching a transformation video that only has one photo and is only 5 seconds long. So maybe you are making progress, but you are always too harsh on yourself. Maybe from a 3-month time span you aren't seeing progress, but maybe from a 9-month time span you can see progress. And the same thing happens with strength. In 3 months maybe you don't see any difference, but maybe in the time span of 6 months, if you have a video of your past self, you will be amazed by the difference you have made. If you ever feel stagnated, remember that maybe you are making progress. Only it is so slow and you don't have a reference points to see any difference. So start making reference points. Start making a few videos of yourself training or of your own physique. Keep training for 9 months and come back to watch those videos when you feel stagnated. You will definitely see a change. Or instead of videos, you can have a training journal where you write your own experiences and the things you can do now, your own body weight, the exercise you can do now, your own personal records, and come back in 9 months. I've documented my training for around 2 years for videos, and it feels pretty good seeing that now I am better than my past self, especially when it comes to maybe seeing my physique when it was recovering from the injury to now, or when I see my handstand push-up training. On a handstand push-up, you always need to balance. So sometimes your sets are going to be inconsistent, and each time you do less reps, it kinda feels lame, like if you were not progressing at all. And while I was training it, I always felt a bit bad about my own progress. Even now, sometimes I feel that way, and if I didn't feel my own progress, I would have never seen the change. So remember, maybe you are not stagnated, but simply your perception is wrong. You don't have a proper reference point, to compare yourself. Maybe it is so short that no change can be seen, or maybe you don't have one at all and are constantly comparing yourself to somebody else. So start making a few reference points now, or if you already have them, start watching them or comparing yourself to them.